From WLWT, this is Issues.
Hello, welcome to Issues. I'm Jan Michelle Lemon-Kearney of Sesh Communications and the Cincinnati Herald. We have so much to talk about today. A little later, we're going to talk about a subject that I know everybody needs. It's budgeting, building wealth. I mean, it's just going to be great. Al Riddick is here to talk about that to Michael Bobo. Also, we're going to talk about a really fantastic program for young women ages 12 to 17 called Nevertheless. And so you definitely want to stay tuned for that. First, we're going to talk to someone whom I just met. I was so impressed with her. I met her at Morgan Owens' Babes in Business seminar, and her name is Ashley Nicole. And she is just beautiful. Welcome, Ashley.
Hi, thank you.
So we just met last week, and you were telling me about your story, and you've written this book called Be Brave, and it's really about talking about sexual abuse. I mean, a really, really tough topic, and you're talking to people about it, inspiring people to also break their silence. So let's go back. Welcome, first of all. Just, so glad you're here. You're so beautiful and smart. And I just enjoyed meeting you last week, and so I'm so excited you're here with your book, Be Brave. By the way, we can get your book on ashleybebrave.com.
Yes.
And people know that we'll link you to WLWT.com. Okay, enough of me talking. So tell us your story.
Okay. Last year in August, I made the decision to break my silence about being sexually abused. And it was a decision that I had been wrestling with for years. And I kind of revealed some things over the last 10 years, but I had just found the strength and the courage to really break my silence completely. And I released a video via YouTube and said that, I had been sexually abused. And
it was since you were, 5 years old?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It was several different encounters. There was incidents when I was with my biological family, and then because of that abuse, I was put into foster care and then adopted by a pastor and his wife and their family. And after being a part of that family for probably 6 years, around the age of 12 was when the sexual abuse started again with my adoptive father. Yes.
And he was well known in the community, and we should say he's not from this area, but
right.
He was well known in the community you were from. And so I can imagine how it must have been tough for you to break the silence.
It was one of the hardest things that I've had to do, but it is one of the most freeing things and liberating things that I've encountered as well.
Right. So, and let me, I was reading on your blog a letter you wrote to your 18-year-old self, and you were 31 when you wrote the letter.
Yes.
So tell us about that letter.
In that letter, it was really a letter of encouragement to myself, as well as to any other young woman or even young man who is in the middle of a situation that seems helpless or hopeless, because that is what you feel, especially when it is a family member that is hurting you. You kind of feel like you have nowhere to go because you're not an adult. It's not like you can just leave, and you have that fear of, who can I tell? Who's going to believe me? Is it my fault? Did I do something wrong? And so it's a lot of things that go on in your head. And so I wanted to write something to inspire other young people to know that at the end of the day, you can come out of this. And so I just wrote a letter to myself, encouraging myself, letting my younger self know all the things that are ahead, right. but to also let them know where I am right now. Right. And to know that it does take a lot of work. It does take you confronting your issues. It is a process of healing. It is a process of forgiving if you choose to do that, which I chose to do. But there is life after sexual abuse, and it can be a good life. It can be an abundant life. It can be a life like you've never imagined.
And that's wonderful to know. So, and looking back at that letter, you were saying things like, I'm sitting here with my adoptive mom. I think you were about to go off to college, and you were talking about your grade point average was low, and there was a lot of partying and drinking, and things I'm sure that you did because you were feeling so bad inside. Yes. So how did you deal with that? I mean, during those years?
I believe that between the ages of 19 through maybe 25, 26, it was a period of time where I was searching and trying to figure out who I was, trying to figure out what my worth actually was. Going through abuse and having the person abused you, they plant seeds inside of you that make you feel like you're worthless, or seeds that make you feel like this is all you're worth, this is all you're good for, you'll never amount to anything. I've heard you're stupid. I've never heard you're beautiful, or you're smart, you're intelligent, you can do this. It was never encouragement. It was always what you're not good at. And so when you live an entire, young life, your entire childhood, hearing those things, that's what you believe. You're conditioned to believe those things. And so it was a process of unlearning those things and relearning who I truly am, my true value, and things like that. So,
and let me ask you this, so what's your relationship like with your adoptive family now? I mean, the book has come out, so, it's out there.
Yeah, the relationship with my adoptive family is somewhat non-existent. Once I made the choice to break my silence, there was a kind of a severing of any type of relationship that we had. It was already kind of on the rocks. My brothers that I had and my mother, my adoptive mother, were not supportive of my decision to break the silence. They were not supportive of anything. They didn't even respond when I told them. And I had shared this information with them 10 years ago. So it wasn't a full surprise to them.
Right.
They already
just
knew.
chose not to address it.
They chose not to address it or deal with it. And so...
and I should say your adoptive father ended up killing himself, didn't he? He committed suicide? Yeah.
Well, what they... I got the call on a Saturday, the week after I had released the video, and I got the call that he accidentally shot himself while cleaning his gun. That is what the report says.
Okay.
It's my belief that it was a choice.
Yeah, right.
That was made as a result of me releasing and breaking my silence.
Well, Ashley, I just have to commend you because you inspire so many people, and I love the fact that you're saying you can forgive the past, you can move forward,
Absolutely.
And realize it's not your fault, and and live life abundantly. And you're so beautiful and talented.
Thank you.
I just can't imagine anyone mistreating you. It's just horrible to think of. I want people to make sure they read "Be Brave" by Ashley Nicole. You can get it. Here's a picture of it at ashleybebrave.com.
Yes.
We're going to link you through WLWT.com. Okay, beautiful, talented young lady. Ashley, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Stick with us. We'll be back in just a moment.